The Night Archive. Case File 001.
I found a VHS tape labeled
Play After You Disappear.
Before this video started, there were 7 children in the recording. There are 8 now. Do not rewind to check. That is what the last person did. 3 days later, police found his television playing footage of an empty living room. The room belonged to him, but the date in the corner was from the following week. Standing beneath the television was a child, wearing a paper birthday crown. I know because I found the original tape. It had my full name written across the label. The ink was still wet. Beneath my name were 5 words. Play after you disappear. I never put it inside a VHS player. I never pressed play. But somehow, you are watching it now. And every second you remain here, something inside the recording gets closer to leaving it. I restore old recordings for estate sale companies. Families hire me to recover weddings, birthdays, school plays, and home movies before the tapes decay completely. I have watched thousands of hours of other people's memories. I know the difference between tracking damage and deliberate editing. I know what mold does to magnetic tape, and I know a VHS cannot contain video recorded after the cassette was manufactured. At least, I thought I knew that. I found the box while clearing out the home of a man named Arthur Vale. Arthur had died alone. No wife, no children, no relatives willing to collect his belongings. Most of the house was empty, but beneath his bed was a sealed cardboard box containing 12 VHS tapes. 11 were labeled like ordinary family recordings. Christmas, 1987, Summer at the Lake, Sarah's 5th birthday. The 12th tape had my name written on it, my full name, even my middle initial. When I touched it, black ink smeared across my thumb. Beneath my name was tomorrow's date, and below that, play after you disappear. I placed the tape inside a plastic evidence bag. I photographed it. Then I drove home without watching it. That should have been the end of the story. But when I checked the photograph on my phone, the label had changed. It no longer showed tomorrow's date. It displayed a single word. Now. I still refused to put it inside a player. Instead, I locked it inside a steel cabinet in my office. Then I copied the photographs onto my computer and enlarged the label. That was when I noticed something reflected in the cassette's plastic window. A television screen. And on that screen was my living room. I had taken the photograph inside Arthur's bedroom. My living room should not have been visible. I zoomed closer. The image was small and distorted, but I could see the couch, the lamp, and the clock above the doorway. Someone was sitting beneath the coffee table. A child. His face was hidden behind a paper plate with 2 uneven eye holes cut into it. A pointed birthday crown rested on his head. Written across the crown was the number 7. I turned around. My office was empty. But from somewhere inside the house, a child began humming Happy Birthday. Only the melody was backward. I unplugged every television and shut down the computer. Then I took the tape from the cabinet and carried it outside. I planned to destroy it. Before I reached the driveway, my phone vibrated. A video had appeared in my camera roll. I had not recorded it. The file was 43 seconds long. The opening shot showed my living room from a camera angle near the ceiling. No camera existed there. The furniture was in the right place, but the clock above the doorway had stopped at 2:17. The family photographs on the wall had been replaced. Every frame contained the same image, a birthday party. 7 children sat around a table. 6 faced the cake. The 7th sat beneath the table, staring into the camera through a paper mask. The birthday child. Then I appeared in the recording. I entered my living room wearing the same clothes I had on. I walked toward the television, reached behind it, and removed a VHS tape. The cassette in my hand suddenly became warm. On the screen, the recorded version of me slowly turned toward the camera. He held up the tape. The label read, "Thank you for watching." The video ended. Then something fell inside my living room. A picture frame! I went inside and found a photograph of my parents and me at the beach, lying on the floor. Except the image had changed. We were no longer standing beside the ocean. We were sitting around a birthday table. Beneath it, the masked child was looking up at us. That was when I understood. The tape was not showing me the past. It was not predicting the future either. Every time I viewed an image from the cassette, the image became more real. I deleted the video. It returned. I deleted the photograph. It returned. I shut off my phone, but the screen remained illuminated. The living room footage began playing again. This time, it was 44 seconds long. 1 second had been added. During that second, the child crawled out from beneath the table. I placed the phone face down. The humming stopped. When I picked it up again, the video had grown to 45 seconds. The child had taken another step. I understood what it wanted. Attention. Every viewing developed the recording like a photograph, becoming clearer inside a darkroom. Except the darkroom was my house, and the picture was learning how to enter it. I covered the phone screen with tape. I wrapped the VHS inside a blanket and placed it inside a toolbox. Then I drove everything to an abandoned storage unit on the edge of town. No screens, no windows, no electricity. I placed the toolbox on the concrete floor and walked away. For 7 minutes, nothing happened. At 8 minutes, I heard the humming. Not from inside the unit, from the car radio. The radio was turned off, but the display lit up anyway. 2 numbers appeared. 217. Then a child's voice came through the speakers. You forgot the other tapes. Arthur Vale's 11 family recordings were still in my trunk. I opened the first tape, Sarah's 5th birthday. The label said it had been recorded in 1992. I used a small battery-powered viewer to inspect one frame. A little girl sat in front of a cake. Her parents stood behind her. Beneath the table sat the birthday child. Same mask, same crown, same number 7. I checked the Christmas tape. He was standing outside the window. I checked the recording from the lake. He was beneath the water. In every tape, he was closer to the camera. The final recording showed Arthur Vale sitting alone inside his bedroom. He looked directly into the lens and held up a handwritten sign. It said, "If you found these tapes, I failed." Arthur lowered the sign and raised another. "Do not watch the child leave the frame." The viewer clicked. The footage continued on its own. Arthur turned toward the corner of his room. The birthday child was standing there. For the first time, the child was not wearing his mask, but his face had been damaged by static. Not hidden, removed, like the tape could no longer remember what a human face was supposed to look like. The child stepped toward Arthur, then toward the camera, then beyond it. He left the frame. Behind me, inside the storage unit, a bare foot scraped across the concrete. I did not turn around. I stared into the dark reflection of the viewer's screen. The birthday child stood approximately 10 feet behind me. Paper mask, birthday crown, arms hanging at his sides. The crown no longer displayed the number 7. It displayed the number 8. I shut my eyes. The scraping stopped. I opened them again. The child was 5 feet closer. That was when I understood the trap. It did not move when I watched it. It moved when the recording was not being observed. But watching the recording made it more real. To survive, I needed to keep looking at something that grew stronger every time I saw it. There was no correct choice. That was the point. The tape did not simply kill its victims. It trapped them between 2 mistakes. I kept my eyes on the reflection and reached blindly for the toolbox. The birthday child remained still. I found the VHS with my name on it. Its label had changed again. 1 witness remaining. Arthur had never been the intended victim. He had been the previous witness. The recording passed from one person to another. Each witness watched until the child became real enough to leave the frame. Then the tape found someone new. Arthur had hidden the recordings beneath his bed, but he had also hired the estate company that sent me to his house. He knew exactly who would find them. He had chosen me, and now the recording expected me to choose someone else. I took the cassette home, not because I had surrendered, because I had a plan. If every viewing made the recording more real, I would make sure no one ever watched it again. I removed the magnetic ribbon from the cassette. I cut it into hundreds of pieces. Then I burned them inside a metal barrel. I destroyed my phone. I smashed the battery-powered viewer. Then I sat inside my living room and waited. 2:17 arrived. Nothing happened. 2:18. Silence. 2:19. The clock continued moving. For the first time since finding the tape, I believed it was over. Then my television turned on. It was still unplugged. Static filled the screen. Words appeared, one at a time.
A tape is only one way to watch.
The television showed my computer. My computer showed my phone. My phone showed the storage unit. The storage unit showed Arthur's bedroom. Inside Arthur's bedroom stood the birthday child. The number on his crown had changed again. It now displayed thousands of digits. They increased every second. 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. Each number represented a viewer, not of the tape, of the file. Somewhere, the recording had been uploaded. I rushed to my computer. A new folder sat on the desktop. It was called The Night Archive. Inside was a completed video file, the same file you are watching now. I tried to delete it. The computer displayed an error message.
Witness cannot remove evidence.
Then I saw the upload progress. 20%, 40%, 70%. I disconnected the internet! The upload continued. 99% complete. There were 43 frames showing me standing inside my living room after my disappearance. I was wrong about what they meant. They did not show me returning home. They showed the recording learning how to wear me. In the first frame, the room is empty. In the second, I am standing beside the television. By the 42nd, I am looking directly at you. And in the final frame, the birthday child is no longer standing behind me. He is standing behind the camera, on your side.
Do not replay this video. Do not search the frames. Do not count the children around the birthday table.
Every time you look, the recording becomes a little more real. If you hear someone humming after this video ends, keep looking at the screen. Because the moment you look away
is the moment he leaves the frame.
I thought the tape needed me to disappear. I was wrong. It only needed me to upload it. Now that you have watched the recording, my part is over.
Yours begins at 2:17.
The next file has already been delivered. And that is where this file from the Night Archive ends. But one question remains. Did Arthur choose the narrator to become the next witness? Or had the birthday child already chosen him before the tape was ever found? Comment your theory below. And tell me,
how many children did you see sitting around the birthday table?
But do not go back and count them again. Some recordings notice when they are being replayed. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment your theories. It helps the channel grow, and it lets me know you want more stories like this. If you have a scary story you would like narrated on the channel, send your true stories, original horror stories, or creepy experiences to narratednightmaresx@gmail.com. Your story could be featured in a future video on Narrated Nightmares. You've been listening to Narrated Nightmares. Until next time, lock your doors. Check your mirrors. Watch the clocks. And if you hear an unplugged television playing Happy Birthday at 2:17 in the morning, do not look at the screen.
You've been listening to Narrated Nightmares.